Good morning, good morning, good morning. Kevin, junkyard? I didn't want to get out of bed this morning. 5:00, 5:30 alarm went off. I hit the snooze. I reset the alarm for 6. The snooze went off at 5:40. Shut that off. The alarm went off at 6. I grabbed myself right by the nape of the neck and pulled myself out of bed. Yep. Evidently, Tennessee, Nashville, or whatever, Knoxville, whatever she was supporting, they decided they wanted somebody that liked that area and country music. Say hi, Junkyard.
Hi, Junkyard.
Hi, Uncle Kevin.
Hi, Uncle Kevin.
Hi, Skeeta.
Hi, Skeeta.
Good morning, girls.
Good morning. Good morning.
No. Yeah. We got about, I don't know, almost 3 inches of snow. Monday evening, Tuesday morning. No, I didn't get a tan. No. We went for Chinese dinner last night at the buffet. It was actually pretty tasty last night. We got there around 5 o'clock, I guess, and all the food was hot. It was all fresh, and there was plenty of it. I mean, it wasn't like the pans were running out or anything. Yeah, there's more lefties in there. Yeah. They must be transplants from California. I usually, when I go to the Chinese buffet, I go to the the part where they cook it for you, Mongolian bar or whatever. I'll pick up a bunch of peeled shrimp, peeled and deveined. It's all cooked already. I'll pick up like 15 of them, and I'll get a piece of sushi and some General Tso's chicken, some Japanese beef, and a couple other different kinds of chicken. And then that seafood medley or whatever. Pick me up some cocktail sauce, shrimp cocktail sauce for the shrimp. A white sand Christmas. So I probably eat enough shrimp to pay for the meal itself. If you had to buy 15 shrimp or whatever, 20 shrimp, there's $10 right there. So But I eat that cold. I don't have them cook it or anything. I've never had them cook it. I should try it sometime. Just some of that was, I don't know, some bean sprouts or something maybe. I've never partaked. I've never partooken. I've never seized the opportunity to use a Mongolian cook. Good morning, cornbread. Like the heat lamp, I bet he did. Yeah. Yeah. The girl, she had to spend the night in the box. If you don't behave, you gotta spend the night in the box. If you break one of these rules, you spend the night in the box. Well, she had to spend the night in the box because the grandkids are here. And you can't trust her by herself out at night with a Christmas tree unless you block the gates or block the door so she can't get into the living room at night. During the day, if you're walking around and stuff, you're up. She doesn't seem to bother it that much. But at night, she likes to take the teddy bears off the tree and pull down on some of the branches. So while the grandkids are here at night, she has to spend the night in the box. So, and I explained to her this morning, I said, it's only for when the grandkids get here until after Christmas, and then you can stay out again. Some broccoli. That's right. I don't eat a lot of the Chinese buffet. I'll have one plate of that stuff. It's usually like 2 or 3 pieces of the small chicken of each, 3 or 4 different kinds of chicken, a couple pieces of the Japanese beef, and the shrimp, and a sushi roll. Then I get a coffee cup or one of them cups with the seafood medley in it. I usually eat the plate first, and then I'll eat the seafood medley last. That's why I keep it in the cup so it stays warmer. And I'm practically done. But you do have cats, don't you? No. When we leave to go someplace, we put up the gate too so she can't get in the living room with a Christmas tree. Like a kick in the catavas. They had grow houses, yeah. That's a funny looking Christmas tree. Well, I would imagine with a Tulsa King around. What's up, Buttercup?
Hi.
I see that. The Oklahoma National Guard to D.C. We had a disturbing thing go on in our state last month. A 22-year-old girl that was 38 weeks pregnant come up missing. Her parents called, her mom called the police because she was 38 weeks old, 38 weeks pregnant, hasn't been seen in a couple of days, and last thing she knew, she was catching a ride to town with somebody. Well, they found the 22-year-old woman in the national forest dead. She'd been stabbed to death, and the baby had been cut out of her body. Come to find out, the boyfriend of hers was a meth head. Her mother was a meth head, and her stepfather was a meth head. Her stepfather and mother killed her and cut the baby out. I don't know what the boyfriend had to do with it, but he was arrested too, and they have not found the baby. I'm pretty sure they sold the baby for drugs. Morning, cute kitty. I'm glad they're packing. I got my solar panel yesterday for the lighted ring cam out front. Obviously, the person delivering it didn't read that the box said fragile when they threw it from like 10 feet away from the steps onto the porch. Yeah, solar flake. It just makes you wonder what's going on in people's minds, you know. Hey, why don't we kill my daughter so we can have a baby and sell it for more drugs? Hey, that sounds like a good idea. At the post office? Hey, do you know this guy? You want to deliver this for me? Yeah. Yeah, the town of Fragile. Oh. Kathy and I, we got to run to the store today. 2 different cars. Gas station, actually. She's got $1 off in gas. and you can get up to 30 gallons. So we're taking both cars, going to fill up both cars, and I'm going to take a 5-gallon jug, and whatever doesn't fit in the cars, I'm going to put in the jug. We should be able to get it for like $1.75 a gallon. Yeah, I have something for you. Yeah, there you go. It said they delivered it to the post office. Well, isn't that special? Oh. So, anyways, I got to do that today. I'm going to put the solar panel up today. I was kind of waiting to do the solar panel when I get the new batteries. I was going to charge the new batteries up. That way, I was going to put in fresh batteries with the new solar panel and see how long it lasts. They probably are getting directions. Hey, by the way, I mean, you know everybody in the area. When I was a garbage man out there picking up garbage, we'd have people wave us down all the time. Hey, you guys know where this place is? Yeah, right around the corner, fourth house down. Yeah. All we had to do is look on the route sheet. If it was a customer, we'd be able to tell them exactly who they are. Thank you. I've been looking for that person. Have fun. Yeah. I did. I made some strawberry banana ice cream. That's what you want to call it. It's actually a milkshake. It turned out pretty good. It would probably be a good ice cream if I put it in the freezer, but I don't have it in the freezer. I got it sitting outside in the garage on a table out there. It's plenty cold. It's 18 degrees out there, so it's probably colder in the garage than it is outside. I don't know. No. There you go. As kids, we used to make snow ice all the time. Get some clean, fresh snow, some vanilla, and a little bit of sugar. Mix it all up. Say good morning, Cornbread. He's in the audience today. You ain't got no strength to carry it down.
No. Isn't that funny?
No, I don't think that's funny at all. Yeah, don't use it. The yellow snow is already flavored.
Good morning, Cornbread.
Way up north in the ice and snow. Oh no, way up north where the cold wind blows. Don't you eat that yellow snow. I get a cup of coffee. Excuse me. Yeah. I mean, they seem like a nice couple. But the missus. Um what can I say about the missus? A BOF? Bride of Frankenstein? Let's see. I got a message from the guy working on my. Huh. I have to look at that later. 200, what they give away? $6 billion. They put in $6 billion for 200. I'm trying to remember how many kids. I can't remember. Yeah, Tim gave away a little money too, like $1 billion to Somalia. Yeah, the $6 billion man. Remember, it wasn't that long ago when the $6 million man was really something. Yeah. Good morning. What about the message? Me too. Wish I was a kid again. I don't know how rich is Michael Dell. I'm pretty sure he's pretty rich. $148 billion. Yeah, he could afford $6 billion. We had to pick up pop bottles here. Right? Yeah. Well, see, you can still pick up pop bottles. You take all that money and put it in the bank along with your, the money that you were given.
You want a cookie?
No,
Take it, Gretchen.
just gotta get my belt.
You don't have long. 6:59.
Belt. That thing got any longer, it would be a hanging rope.
Okay. Gretchen. Hold the coat up.
Now you don't think much. Yeah, he could have given more, couldn't he? Yeah. Yeah, he could have given 40 million, 40 billion.
You don't have long.
I know.
Shots, everybody, shots.
You see the
Shots, everybody,
There you
shots.
go.
right there?
Shots, everybody, shots. Shots, everybody,
There you
shots.
go.
Shots, everybody, shots.
Now it's coming up to club. Well, you're fine.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you.
See you in the morning.
See ya.
Well,
Um,
gee, we won.
Thinking about seeing if my darling wife would make omelets tonight for dinner. That sounds good.
No, okay.
You guys are not having omelets. No, it hit at 7 o'clock. Hmm. So, well, that's because you're closer. You're closer to the time zone. That's sort of like when it's New Year's Eve and it's 11:59 in New York, and everybody celebrates at midnight, you know, but it's not midnight for another 3 hours in California. Got that slight time delay. I know. Now all these goddamn, excuse my language, these commie bastards are pissed off because, you know, well, they were clinging to the boat. Well, if they were still clinging to the boat, that meant the boat was still floating, and that meant there was still cargo in the boat that was still, could have been sold. So sink the boat. Yeah, I have no problem with that. When during wartime, if there's a ship out there, they just don't hit it with one torpedo. And yeah, we got her. We'll just wait for her to sink. Might take a few days, but we'll wait for her to sink. Oh, looky there. They're taking off towards land. Huh. No. They put several torpedoes through it. Yeah. And whatever else they can send airmail to make damn sure it's got enough holes to go to the bottom. Evidently, it's been a long time since anybody in the news has reported on a war or war actions. I mean, I don't know how much faster the boats have got to be. They got cigar boats right now, probably running 150 miles an hour. Five, six motors on the back of them. Now, what they need to do is start sinking them in shallow water. That way they can retrieve the motors. Those are worth money. Yeah, for a bass tournament. That's right. Oh, we got some of these cookies over here. You want some? Huh? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Those luck houses. Venezuela, the 51st state. Yeah, sure. As much natural resources as they have, you know, Venezuela was one of the richest countries in the world for their size. And what, 3 or 4 years ago, they were eating zoo animals because nobody had any money. They couldn't buy food. You could have a wheelbarrow full of cash and it wasn't worth 10 cents. And it's still that way today. Could you imagine the soldiers if they were told, Jamaican soldiers, or yeah, Venezuelan soldiers, if they were told, are you going up against the United States Army? You need to fight. We can win this. Can you imagine the look on their face when they're told that? Yeah. That's sort of like the the Iraqi war, the first one. You know, they could have had it all mopped up in one day, but they stretched it all out. After a week, the soldiers were giving up. You know, they were dropping their weapons and running to to the soldiers, American soldiers. That's right. Till they're broke. They're already broke. I have to powder my nose real quick. They were probably given a white handkerchief right there from the beginning. You know, when in doubt, whip it out. We had back in, what was it, June, I think it was, we had the weatherization people here. And that's when we found out we didn't qualify, but they said we didn't have enough insulation in our attic in the house. Well, we left last night to go someplace, and I looked up at the roof on the house, and I said, they said we didn't have enough insulation in the house, in the attic. The attic roof is covered, or the roof of the house is covered in snow, which means you're not losing heat. So they say we don't have enough. I will probably this summer get a blown insulation machine and have my son blow insulation up into the attic from the outside. It's got a couple of vents up there. I have to replace a couple of vents anyways. So I have him just pop a vent out and just start spraying insulation in there, I guess. But they said when we first moved here, he said there was 2 foot of insulation up there. I never checked it. Then the guy that went up there said, oh, there's only like 6 inches up there. Well, with a cellulose insulation blower, you can blow a lot of insulation all over the place. So I want to do that. I actually almost bought one a few years ago. It was on Craigslist or something, and I should have bought it. I should have bought it, but I didn't. It was almost cheaper than renting one, because I think to rent one is probably $100 a weekend or something like that. That's it. You just tape it to a piece of PVC pipe, put it in there, and take it all the way to one side. Just start running it. And while you're up there looking through the vent to do it, you just work yourself around the door, the attic door. That's all you got to do. Well, you probably want a 2-inch piece of PVC. It'll blow. Years ago, I used to work for a guy that did blown insulation. I worked for him in the morning. I started at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I would quit at 2 o'clock. And then I would leave from there, go home, grab my lunch, and go to work at a factory from 3 to 11. Oh, okay. You're talking about taping a piece of hose to the, so you can use it as a stick. Yeah. But you could actually tape a 2-inch inside that or whatever and just lengthen it. We used to we drill a 1-inch hole through the siding. It depends. If they wanted it through the siding, drill a 1-inch hole through the siding and then put in the plastic covers, the plugs. Or we would have he had a guy that would come over and would take the siding off and then put it back on. But that was that would be a big additional extra cost. Out of all the jobs I ever did, I think we only had one person that opted to have the siding all removed and then put back on. Just go in there, drill a hole, put your nozzle in there, blow it, tap the wall a couple of times. You don't want to hit it hard because of pictures and stuff on the wall, but you sit there and you tap the wall like this as you're doing it, and it all goes down. And you keep doing it until you can feel the insulation at the hole, plug the hole, and then go up further. You did. My youngest asked me what I wanted. I told him I wanted the Arc Captain 110 stick, wire, and TIG welder. It was regularly $189 or something like that. It was on sale for $79. So I said, that's what I want. I already have 2 welders right now, 110 welders. I don't have 220 out in the garage. And one is an 80 amp and the other one's a 90 amp. And the Arc Captain is 140 amp. So you should be able to get a lot better penetration with 140 amp. And I don't plan on welding anything more than a 1/4 inch anyway, so All American made with. Now, that was on Amazon? Did you say Merry Christmas to me? Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to me. I'm surprised you didn't buy yourself some socks. From Primewell? Oh. I gotta run to Harbor Freight too. I gotta get a
She did.
probably an 8x8, maybe a 10x10 tarp.
So okay.
No, there's nobody in there. Like your fingers. You can't push like that. You're gonna pinch your fingers, buddy. I got that cement mixer I just bought. That's got an electric motor on it. I want to tarp that. It should be okay sitting outside, but I really don't want to, to take the chance with the electric motor. So I got to tarp that. Picked up my snow blower and wood chipper. Talked to him Monday night. He said he had the snow blower running, but he needs to. I said, well, yeah, I had it running. And it would run, but then it would stall out, after a couple of minutes. As soon as you hit heavy snow or whatever, it'd stall out. And well, he's going to take the carburetor apart, spray the jets, clean them up, and, the needle valve and all that other stuff, and see if that works. Down the drain. Flush your troubles down the drain. So. Did you see Trump yesterday? We don't want them people here. They're garbage. Hey, say it like it's supposed to. We don't want them here. They're garbage. They're not doing anything for our economy. They're not doing anything for our country, but bringing us down. We don't want them here. You got a big round of applause for that. Yeah. Finally, somebody that's not too politically correct to, say something. They had to send them all packing back home. Especially Ilmar. There's some pictures of her without her headdress on, and she's practically bald. They can't do anything to Rashid Tlaib or whatever because she was born here in the United States. But there's a few other ones that aren't born here in the United States that are in Congress, and they can get rid of them. Yeah. Yeah, go make their country better. That's right. That's the thing. They all come here with intentions of breeding, and that was it. To breed with, us, our citizens, and to make their kids overtake the nation. And then you got them morons out there in Oregon, protesting the nativity scene, I guess it was. They were protesting that, so they didn't make up their own, nativity scene with a man or with a baby in handcuffs and all that. I don't know. I have a feeling that the second cleansing is coming. And people didn't, they didn't believe it when Sodom and Gomorrah, when that happened. And they were told not to look back or you turn into a pillar of salt. Well, there was a pillar of salt out there in the middle of the desert. His wife turned around to look. Yeah, then they can send us some money. Yeah, right. You're such a kidder, Junker. We can have a big national disaster here, and there ain't a country out there send us any money for help. They have a little windstorm, breaks a few trees in the forest that nobody lives in, and we have to send them millions and millions of dollars to help them out. Yeah. Or they get a dust storm. I see Iran is going through a drought. I wonder how long before we send them some money now, because that's the proper thing to do. They're going to be begging for food and everything else here shortly, plus water, because they ain't got none. All right, everybody. Y'all have a great day. God bless. Take care, prayers, and peace. And I will see you tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard, if you're so inclined to join me. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay warm, stay dry, stay cool if you have to, but stay yourself. Take care, everybody.